Welcome. My name is Steve Kuntz, and I am with Keep It Watered, and we specialize in indoor gardening, especially in schools. And my guest today is Jenn Ponder from BLL Culinary Gardens out of New Jersey. And Jenn specializes in outdoor gardening. So we get together often, talk about gardening and indoor and outdoor, but it's been a good partnership with Jenn being outdoor gardening. But Jenn, talk to us about how you got started with this, what you do with your gardens outside.
Okay. Hi and everyone. Steve, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. So BLL Culinary Gardens, the story behind it is first it's named after my mom, Brenda, who passed away of breast cancer. But she wasn't a gardener. I think she grew like tomatoes and that was about it. I grew up here in New Jersey and of course the Garden State, but wasn't brought up to garden. I am a professional chef, so food has always been a big factor in my life. Um, but I started gardening outdoors probably around 2002 or so. So just to, get my mind off of her passing and stuff, and then just started learning and engaging more and um and just became very curious about the whole thing and how, you get from seed to what you have on your plate. And so now about 13 years later, I'm a professional gardener. I've been certified through Gardenary, and I love outdoor gardening because it gets you outside. You get your vitamin D, you get your birds, you get your sun, you get all this sensory, happy sensory items coming around you all the time. And who doesn't love being outdoors? Only rough part is, the change of season, like now it gets chillier out, so you can't spend as much time outdoors, but you can grow through the season if you'd like. There's ways to do it.
So as far as schools go, what do you see the benefit of a school having an outdoor garden?
So the benefit of having an outdoor garden for, you know, uh, starting at preschool all the way up through, I'd say college, um, to get outside. It's great exercise. It's a great way for little kids for sensory learning, and also hand-eye coordination, and uh them also learning a skill that they can use through their lifetime. And also it's a team effort, so they have to work together. And teamwork makes the dream work, as my kids teacher used to say. So you have these groups of people who are going to work together and to grow something that will nourish their bodies and nourish their minds, nourish their community, school community at the same time. So that's why I think gardening at a school, especially outdoors, is super important right now.
You mentioned sensory garden. What are good sensory plants to grow?
So I like plants that smell. I love like certain plants that have a great smell to them or texture. So a lot of herbs, like sage and lavender and basils, because you can, they smell. I also, vegetables, of course. Um, Feeling the skin, the smooth skin of a perfectly ripe tomato, and or uh, you know, feeling the weight of a piece of corn that grew properly. It has some weight to it. A cucumber, somebody doesn't think that a cucumber, a single cucumber could be, however heavy. I've seen cucumbers that could be heavy. So, your perception is kind of rocked when you
Mhm.
garden, because you think something's going to be firm, you touch it and it falls apart in your hand. It's like,
Well,
which
and
is
a
kind of gross,
cucumber.
but it happens.
Uh,
So that's great for kids because then they become familiar with different textures, and it also helps their palate with different textures and scents and smells as well.
well, a lot of cucumbers, you almost need gloves to pick them.
Yes,
Not used to
because they're
being the
prickly.
spike prickly. Yeah, oh, man,
Yes,
yeah. I'm
yes.
doing a sensory garden on a tower garden at a local college here for them.
Oh, cool.
I've got lambs here coming because it's soft.
Yeah.
Sunflowers will be the sight, the visual of it.
Hmm.
So it's just it's a neat thing to be able to do and to be able to have the different types. I hadn't thought about the weight of a
Yeah.
ear of corn, a cucumber, and just
Yep.
knowing the difference between the weight of a tomato and a ear of corn.
Yeah.
It's great
Or
for kids to learn.
exactly like a nice size zucchini, because you can have a patty pan that's yay small. You can grow the big patty pans
Yeah.
that are weigh like a half a pound or whatever. So, it's vegetables can be deceiving, in a in a good fun way.
It can be, yeah, sure. How would a school get started?
So, depending on their financial, stability, I would say that the school itself, if it's a private school, they get funds from the parents within the school. If it's a public school, they can apply for grants. There's specific grants out there that are that are just for kids gardening and building gardens. So if you go to like any of your AI tools or any search engines and just put in kid gardening grants. You'll get a bunch of stuff from the USDA. There's I don't know them off the top of my head. There's also the Kids Gardening Network, which I believe they just opened another grant. There's another one I saw yesterday, but I didn't write it down. I apologize. But again, if you use any AI tool or browser, you should be able to just put in kids gardening grants or funding, and that way you can start, that way. And then once you get the money, you or you know where you want the garden and everything, that's where you could call me and say, Jen, we got this money. We want to build our garden now. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, I'm here. Let's do it. And just because I'm in Jersey does not mean I cannot help somebody who lives in Indiana or Connecticut or California or whatever. I'm, you know, I can help you set up. I can help you, find the resources to, um, the right seeds and plants that would thrive.
Yeah. Are there easier plants to grow than others for someone just starting out in gardening?
Yes. Um, so I find that tell people to start with lettuce. Lettuce, arugula, super easy. Um, Radishes and carrots, beets. So the only thing with carrots, radishes, and beets, you have to make sure your soil is loomy and loose and not heavy with nitrogen. So, but if your soil is fresh, you should have no issues. Um, Other things I tell people is spinach, especially now, because they like the cooler weather, it won't bolt. Um, you can start garlic right now for a um, summer harvest. You can overwinter, I believe, onions and leeks. Um, you can also start seeds for your wildflowers outdoors right now so that you'll start getting sprouts next year.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I also tell people go with herbs for seedling herbs because trying to grow herbs, I tried and I didn't have much success. Now maybe somebody else will. Rock on. Awesome. But that I would say for your fresh herbs, just buy the seedlings. So much easier. And plus you get to use them faster. You don't have to
Mhm.
wait.
Sure.
You'll be able to
Yeah.
use them in like a week or so once they, get the plant shock and they're
Yeah. So, what plants got to be good to grow to use in the cafeteria?
cafeteria plants.
Any?
So depending on the size of the school, you know, it would have to be a pretty big crop, but I would say just to have, I would do beds of like fresh herbs so they could add them to the food. Um, I would try to do a bed of lettuce, like all like a cedar bed of lettuce, because they could cut that lettuce for like just the teacher's lounge or have the kids do tomatoes like in April in May when the frost is, when that last frost comes through, plant some tomatoes. By the time, let's say June, July, or actually May, June, they might have enough to do something with them towards the end of the school year. Stuff that's good for the year, I would say again, the lettuce, the spinach, collard greens, Swiss chard, berries, but you would have to start them the year before.
Yeah.
Um, there's a, and native plants. Native plants are, very important for the ecosystem and for our, our good pests and our good bugs and our good
Yeah.
insects, our bees and our butterflies and all that. So sunflowers are cool because those you can grow in this from early spring all the way up through till now.
Hmm.
So, and
Yeah.
if you get the ones that have the big seed heads and the birds don't get to them, you can harvest that.
Uh-huh.
So there's always and also, oh, one last thing, microgreens. You can always do microgreens on inside and use them.
Mhm. Yeah.
They only take about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to grow.
Yeah. I found a dwarf variety of sunflower that only gets a couple of feet tall.
Yeah.
And those are easier to grow indoors, of course, than a 6 foot high one, but they grow a little quicker too, and they're easier for kids to pick and take home.
Yeah,
It's got
exactly.
flowers, better with that too.
Yeah. Do you
But
grow on the bigger tower, correct?
well, that I grow on the tower guard, but also on the left pot,
Oh,
on
really?
the countertop one. Yeah, they grow really well on the countertop one.
Interesting. Okay, I have
Yeah.
to try that because when
Well, yeah, I'm excited. It's a dwarf variety. It's junior, they call it.
oh, how cute.
But yeah, I get them online. In fact, at a retirement community here, I am going to do dirt-free gardening this afternoon with the residents. So
Oh, that's
I'll
so
let pot
cool.
over there and we'll grow sunflowers for them and they could cut them and take it back to their rooms.
Oh, that's
Just a
awesome.
neat way to involve the residents and
Yeah.
enjoy that too. But I've learned too that local partnerships are important. I do a lot with Purdue Extension here in Indiana.
Okay.
And every state has an extension office
Yeah.
at a school, Michigan Extension, Ohio State Extension,
Yes.
Master Gardeners.
Yes. Rutgers
So
has one here.
to reach out to your local Master Gardener group, Extension group.
Yes.
They could be hands-on.
Yes.
Jen, you could for sure do overall help, but you're not going to drive to Indiana to pull weeds. But you may get Master
No.
Gardeners to help you with that and local education
Yes.
with it.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you worked anything with Rutgers yet or?
I have not worked with them personally, but I definitely use their services. Not surfaces, services. Um, I just got my soil test results back. So that I use them, I definitely utilize them for that. I'm always on their extension website. I visit their office because they're right here in Morristown. Um, so I'm able to get, paper flyers and give them to my clients. I share their links always, all the time with my clients. Because I believe in science and science-based help. And I- I'm not, I don't, I'm not knocking, the people who use sites online and homesteaders. That's a whole nother level I'm not used to. When you're talking, doing half an acre or all this stuff and canning, and which I do, but their their expertise is blows my mind how much they know. But for someone who's just doing a couple of beds, the extension is great because it's geared for small gardeners and for large production as well. So if you wanted to go that route into farming and all that, knock yourself out. I hope you
Yeah.
do well. I wish you all the luck, but that's not in my wheelhouse, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it is. Um,
Yeah.
but I can definitely help you with a regular sized garden
Uh,
and with hydroponics inside the home because I have the lit pot. I have the 10
yeah.
slot.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, sounds good. Anything to add here? We'll wrap it up and
Yeah, I just thank you so much for having me. If you would like to get in touch with me, my email is J as in Jennifer, P as in Ponder, 23 at BLL Culinary Gardens.com. You can find me on Instagram at BLL underscore culinary gardens. And you can also find me on Facebook. I will tell you in 2 seconds. um, Garden Consulting and Coaching is my page. Um, and you can, shout me out, send me a message if you're interested in, learning more. Um, and if you're, not able to garden outdoors, get in touch with Steve. He is his expertise on hydroponic growing and garden towers is just, you know, his knowledge is, it's
well,
awesome.
thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm looking to, work with the schools. I'm looking to work with churches and restaurants and everything. So bring it
Yeah.
on.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate you being on, and we will talk to you another time.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.